Churning of Milky Ocean or Sagar Manthan. Sagar Manthan or Churning of the Milky Ocean is a very familiar and popular story. It is one of the most famous episodes narrated in the Puranas and is celebrated in a major way every 12 years as the Kumbh Mela. The story is said to represent the spiritual endeavor of a person striving for immortality. To achieve self-realization through concentration of mind, withdrawal of senses, control of desires, practice of austerities, and asceticism. Like the Thinai, romantic stories of Tamil literature, this story anthropomorphically narrates the natural developments in the human body at puberty. It talks about puberty in males and females, procreative activities of human beings, its abuses, need to procreate, simple, natural sexual feeling or arousal, intercourse or union, male-female ejaculation and orgasms, bodily adaptations, sexually related reactions, and problems connected with orgasms and their remedies, and the ultimate result of the union, fertilization. Because sexual topics are often uncomfortable to discuss, many kinds of stories have been invented during olden days to describe them, and this story of churning the Milky Ocean is one such anthropomorphic story. Once, while Indra, chief of Indraloka and Swargaloka, was riding on his elephant, he came across a powerful sage. Sage Durvasa, carrying a special garland, mala, on his head, had been wandering around the world for a long time. Durvasa decided to give the garland to Indra, who accepted the garland and put it on the trunk of the elephant which he was riding. The elephant threw the garland on the floor, showing disrespect to the sage. The sage, enraged by Indra's action, explained to him that the garland was the dwelling of Sri, fortune, and was therefore to be treated as prasad, something to be revered. Durvasa cursed that all the devas, Indra's subjects, would be deprived of their strength, energy, and fortune. In Tamil language, Dur means bad or dirty. Normally, Dur is prefixed to show badness or dirtiness of anything. For example, Durbuddhi means dirty mind or beliefs. Vasa in Tamil mean smell or odor, and thus Durvasa means bad odor or dirty smell. Vasava is another name for Indra. Vas deferens and Vasa efferentia are some terms relating to the male testicle and its tubular path. As per the Puranas, Indra is not a person, but a position or title. His position is equated to the continuous flows of ants, chitti, out of their burrows, which means that so many persons have occupied the position of Indra. This flow is called seminal fluid and has relevance to the tubular path. Indra is from Indiriyam, seminal fluid, which also confirms his connection to human testicles. Indrani, wife of Indra, refers to the feminine gender and plays the same role in female anatomy that Indra plays for the male anatomy. Chitti or Chinti is another name for ant. The Puranas refer to Chitti Mukha, which is the face of an ant. Why the face of an ant? The face of an ant resembles a Sertoli cell that produces sperm in male anatomy. There are thousands of Sertoli cells in males that produce sperm continuously. The flow of sperm cells is equated to the marching of ants from their burrows. Mala, ma-la, means garland, and it refers to the tubular path where sperm cells are produced. Ma also refers to origin of beginning. La refers to lavana, which is a salty region. The human body is blessed with many glands to produce odors or vasa. Since many of these glands are associated with sexual attraction, they start operating during puberty. It is exactly the reason why Durvasa carried the special mala on his head till he met Indra. When girls and boys approach puberty, many changes take place in their bodies. They may start to have body odor, vasa, which is pungent. Thus, sage Durvasa meets Indra and initiates body odor, vasa, when they reach puberty. Puberty in boys begins at about 11 to 15 years of age with the release of hormones by the pituitary gland, the master regulator. Testosterone, the male sex hormone, is produced by the testis, which is responsible for sexual development. The testicles and scrotums of boys get bigger and are ready to produce more hormones for changes to take effect. The penis grows longer and may get erections. Erection. Linga is achieved through increased flow of blood, known as Shiva, into spongy tissues at the genitals. Please refer to the 60-year cycle of the Tamil calendar, wherein 11th year is mentioned as Ishwaran, which is the status of the seminal fluid. Young boys may experience wet dreams, which may result in ejaculation. This situation is referred to as the elephant throwing the garland on the floor. They may also feel an impulse to masturbate, which is normal. Erect penis looks like an elephant raising its trunk above its head. Sperm and ovum, germ cells, are considered Sri, fortune, since they can produce offspring, which were considered fortune in the olden days and even today. Mala also resembles Kala, a name for Yama, and Mahakala for Shiva. It is considered that both Yama and Shiva are related to human blood or blood circulation in the human body. Vedic texts use Ma for big or origin. Puberty is stimulated with an increased level of sex hormones in the bloodstream. Thus, Mala and Kala come together. Green gram is known as Ma and is also called Mada or Mudga in Sanskrit. Its botanical name is Phaseolus mungo. It is a very good food supplement. Sprouted gram is considered very nutritious. Mada contains Ma, Da, where Ma means origin and Da means flow. Devas are always connected to Indra, who is known to be sperm with seminal fluid. Thus, Devas must represent the constituents of sperm and the seminal fluid, which are chromosomes and genes. Considering the number of Devas mentioned in Puranic stories, they must relate to gene bases of chromosomes. There are about 330 million Devas that exist according to the Puranas. Approximate numbers of known gene bases are 310 million as per English medicine. The balance 20 million must have been found by English medicine. Madness or lunacy is known as Mada or Madam in Tamil. Thus, when an elephant is enraged, it is known as mad elephant or afflicted with Mada. Mada, Ma, Ta, being big flow, refers to sprouting or germination that happens in grain, which is the origin for every growth. Madam in Tamil is the name adopted for religion. Thus, religion must mean human germination or human growth, and it cannot mean spiritualism. Incidentally, an elephant is enraged when it's sexually excited. When a male is sexually excited, it results in an erection, which is equated to an elephant's raised trunk. A sexually aroused male is known as a person afflicted with madam. Elephant god, Ganesha, represents the male scrotum and testis. Puberty in girls is controlled by the pituitary gland, releasing luteinizing hormone and follicle-stimulating hormone. Luteinizing hormone stimulates the ovaries to produce progesterone, which is responsible for breast development. cows or surabhi, and menstruation. Follicle stimulating hormone is responsible for the release of estrogen, which initiates development of female sexual characteristics. The developmental process leads to menarche and then to a regular menstrual cycle over a period. Purana story continues. Due to the sage Durvasa's curse, the Devas were defeated in the next battle and lost their kingdom. Indra approached Lord Vishnu, who advised him to seek the help of demons to churn the ocean of milk so that he and the Devas could partake of Amrit, nectar, which would make them immortal and help them regain their lost kingdom. The above paragraph brings out the process of development in sexual organs from the onset of puberty. Vishnu, hormonal functions, is approached to further accelerate the development process. Vishnu is considered the liver and or part of endocrine and digestive system of human body. The endocrine and exocrine system of the human body secrete many hormones which are necessary for development. The hormones, glucagon, and insulin of the pancreas control blood sugar levels, increase proteins, and regulate the storage of fat in the human body. This increases the energy available to the body. Indra rightly approached Lord Vishnu for help. The immortality talked about here is not about defeating death, but continuing humanity through procreation. Continuation of life through generations of descendants. This is achieved through the transfer of chromosomes or genes from a parent to their descendants and so on. Vedas never talk about no death, as they are very aware that death is imminent, but they talk about continuity and a healthy society. Churning of the ocean simply means the process of sexual arousal and its follow-up. Purana story continues. As per Vishnu's advice, the Devas, referring here to gene basis, approached the Asuras or demons and they agreed to churn the ocean of milk together. They sought the help of Mount Mandara and the great snake Vasuki for this purpose. Vasuki, the snake god, was used as a rope and Mandara, the mountain, as a churning rod. While they were churning the great ocean, Lord Vishnu assumed the form of a tortoise and held the mountain Mandara up during the churning. While the churning was going on, several wonderful objects came out of the Milky Ocean. Sura means surabhi or secretion, whereas asura means non-secreting stage of a particular portion of an organ. Thus, the non-secreting organ or gland was invited to play a role to secrete so that the developmental process would be smoother and natural. Puranic texts consider non-secreting organs or glands as asura, symbolized as a demon which should be fought to achieve the required results. Mandra and Vasuki are nothing but various parts of the penis or phallus and the brute force attached to it at the time of sexual arousal and erection. Mandra refers to arka or alarka or erika flower, botanically known as Calotropis gigantea and Calotropis procera. There is another plant known as Arka pushpi, botanically known as Holostema annularis caesium. The mandara flower resembles the head of a penis, which is known as glans. Incidentally, this mandara flower is a favorite of Ganesha, the elephant god, and is used in a garland for the deity. The flower has medicinal properties. Christianity also refers to the snake as a phallic symbol, named Satan. Vishnu, assuming the form of a tortoise, is nothing but foreskin movement of a penis. White tortoise. The head of the tortoise slides in and out of its shell smoothly like the foreskin movement of the penis head. Roots of the mandara plant are a known snake repellent. The roots drive away poisonous snakes and hence Many people keep a Ganesha statue made of the roots of the mandara plant in their houses for worship. Does this plant have anything to do with sexual organs? An orgasm, known as a sexual climax, is a pleasurable physical, psychological, and emotional response to prolonged sexual stimulation. It is often accompanied by physiological reactions such as ejaculation or spasms, followed by aftershocks. This is how many things came out of churning the Milky Ocean. The developmental process of procreative systems in both males and females creates lots of new things. The story continues. First to come out of the churning was halahal, a deadly poison, which threatened to engulf the worlds and destroy them. While no one was willing to accept the poison, Lord Shiva came forward. He swallowed it. Parvati, who was standing beside him, pressed his neck and prevented it from going down his stomach. Thus, the poison remained there, stuck forever in his neck, neither going up into his mouth nor going down into his stomach. There are stories to say that Adam's apple has come into existence only because of Parvati's pressing of Shiva's neck. Does this situation want us to notice the hyoid bone at the neck, which allows saliva and food into the stomach and prevents it from going into the lungs? The poison was so potent that it changed the color of Shiva's neck to blue. Hence, Shiva is also called Neelakandan, blue-necked one. Medically, this kind of situation is called blue balls. The term is used to identify temporary fluid congestions in the testicles and prostate region caused by prolonged sexual arousal in males. It is often accompanied by a cramp-like ache of prostatic congestion and pain in the testicles. The main cause is prolonged sexual stimulation of the erect penis that does not result in an orgasm and ejaculation. During sexual arousal, it is said that the sympathetic nervous system decreases its inputs to the genital tissues, resulting in increased blood flow to the testicles and prostate areas. As this happens, other muscles constrict, causing more bodily fluid to enter the area than leave, ensuring a high regional blood pressure to allow a sustained erection of penis for the penetration during sexual intercourse. If orgasm is not achieved within the required time, the blood and lymphatic fluid tend to pool, and the blood becomes oxygen-starved. At times, this pooling of oxygen-starved blood may result in a bluish tint to the scrotum. This blood pool is called Kalakuta by Puranic texts. There is a flower called Kutaja, Holarena antidysenterica, in Ayurveda, which has medicinal properties. It is also called as Pale, Raitia tomentosa, and is used for snake bite and scorpion sting. It is also called Kalinga, Vatsika, and Giri Mallika. In Sanskrit, the medicinal properties of these plants must be useful in these situations. This is how Shiva, referred to by the phallic symbol of lingam, came to the churning side and became Neelakandan, blue-necked one. The easiest way to believe blue balls is through an orgasm, either by sexual intercourse or by masturbation. This explains why Parvati, wife of Shiva, also came to the churning side. Women can also experience discomfort due to unrelieved vasocongestion, as their genitals also become engorged with blood during sexual arousal. They can experience pelvic heaviness and aching if they do not reach orgasm. The general term, pelvic congestion, refers to such pain as it occurs in either gender. The story continues. The process of churning continued. Then came Kamadhenu, the wish-fulfilling cow, Uchaisrava, the white horse, Airavada, the white elephant, Kaustubhamani, a rare diamond, Kalpavriksha, the wish-fulfilling tree, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, and Sura or Varuni, the goddess of wine. Then emerged Apsaras, beautiful dancing girls. A host of other wonderful things also appeared from the milk of ocean. At last, Dhanvantri, the divine physician, appeared with the vessel of Amrit, nectar of immortality, in his hands. These objects, except Amrit, were divided between the Devas and the Asuras. Orgasms in both men and women are often associated with other involuntary actions, including vocalizations and muscular spasms in other areas of body. Also, in general, a euphoric sensation is associated with orgasms. The orgasm generally causes perceived tiredness in both males and females. This is attributed to the release of prolactin. Sura or Varuni, the goddess of wine, would have visited them. The emergence of Sura means that the respective organs have started the secretion processes. Male orgasm results in contractions of the prostate, urethra, and muscles at the base of the penis, which forces semen to be expelled in ejaculation. During ejaculation, sperm passes through ejaculatory ducts and is mixed with fluids from seminal vesicles, prostate, and bulbourethral glands to form semen. Airavata, the white elephant, may be the result. It becomes the vehicle or vahana of Indra, who is known as Indriyam, the seminal fluid. Enragement or madness or mada is always associated with the elephant and its sexual stimulation. Vada, part of Airavata, means reflex or movement and is one of the three major divisions of Ayurvedic treatment. Vayu, god of wind, is also known as Vada. Vayu also refers to the movement and thus he is called the god of direction. Female ejaculation refers to the expulsion of noticeable amounts of fluid from the urethra or vagina during sexual stimulation or closer to orgasm. The expelled fluid is a clear or milky emerging sometimes with force. It has a composition like the fluid generated by males in the prostate gland and is generated by Skene's glands. This may be Uchaisrava, the white horse. The bitter god, Momadica charantia, plant is known as Uche or Caravella. Vella means white or Sushavi. The constituents are bitter glucoside, soluble in water and insoluble in ether. Does this plant have any medicinal usage in this situation? During sexual arousal, breasts swell as blood rushes into veins and tissues become engorged. There exists a neurological link between the breast and female sexual and reproductive organs. This is where Kamadhenu, the wish-fulfilling cow, enters the story. Kama means sexual stimulation or pleasure. There is a plant called Kamaduti, Stereospermum sauffolens, which is also known as Patala and Madanakamapu. The flowers of the plant contain albuminous, saccharine, mucilaginous matters, and wax. The name of the plant refers to sexual stimulation or pleasure. Does this plant have any medicinal usage under this situation? The female orgasm is preceded by the moistening of vaginal walls and enlargement of the clitoris due to increased blood flow, which is called a sex flush, and is accompanied by reddening of the skin. As a woman comes closer to orgasm, the clitoris moves inward under clitoral hood, and the labia minora, minor lips, become darker. As the orgasm becomes imminent, the vagina decreases in size by about 30% and becomes congested from engorged soft tissue. The uterus then experiences muscular contractions. A woman experiences full orgasm when her uterus, vagina, and pelvic muscles undergo a series of rhythmic contractions. The uterus, along with the ovaries, are Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, always pink, which is the birthplace of fortune or Sri. In some places, Sri refers to the ovum, female egg. Lakshmi moves into the site of churning. The uterus is the place where the sperm-pierced ovum or fertilized ovum grows into a fetus, a fully grown baby. After orgasm, the clitoris re-emerges from under the clitoral hood and returns to its normal size in less than 10 minutes. This is how Kastubhamani, a rare diamond, emerged. The fact that women tend to attain orgasm easier when they are ovulating suggest that it is tied to increasing fertility. The clitoris relates to Balarama, brother of Krishna, discussed under chapter Purushottama Kshetra. Bala refers to child as well as strength. Kalpavriksha, the wish-fulfilling tree, must represent the uterus in which the fertilized egg is deposited and attaching itself to the wall, grows like a tree. Just as a tree gets many branches, all organs of a fetus grow at this site in the uterus. It might also represent the bodily response from head to toe to this orgasm or sexual stimulation in men and women. Vrikashapa, Cedrus deodara, is a medicinal plant which is also known as Devadaru, Bhadradaru, and Suradaru. Does this plant have any medicinal applications? Finally came Dhanvantri, Dana plus Vana plus 3, divine physician, with a vessel of Amrit in his skillful hands. Dana or Dana refers to seed, whereas Danya or Danya refers to food grains. Danya or Danya comes out of Dana or Dana, the seeds. Vana means forest. Tree or tree, Tiridal in Tamil means wander or move, may mean move around. Thus, Dhanvantri may mean movement or flow of seeds that can make or produce a big forest, which must refer to the bundle of sperm being ejaculated. Dhanvantri may also refer to the chromosomes and genes packed inside a sperm. The sperms that are deposited into the vaginal cavity will swim past to reach the ovum, female egg. Fertilization will bring in growth and development, which is equated to the growth of a forest. Hence, Dhanvantri is known as divine physician who can create wonders. Amrit was taken or drunk by the Devas only and not shared with the Asuras, who are non-secreting organs. Sura refers to secreting organs or secretions. Devas are the gene basis of chromosomes and are closely associated with sperm or ovum or seed. Asuras have no part in sperm except doing for their job of providing lubrication as required. Rahu or Raghu, head portion of the demon snake, is said to have drunk some portion of the Amrit while being slayed. Raghu is considered the sperm head which contains the nucleus of a germ cell. Amrit is a medicinal plant, also known as Nirjara, Somavalli, Glochi, Gudichi, Pitagni, and Bishapriya. Its botanical name is Cocculus cordifolius or Tinospora cordifolia or Terminalia shebula. Soma is described as a drink consumed by Indra during his fight with Vrithra. This drink may represent the cytoplasm present in the nucleus of a germ cell. The Purana story continues. The nectar of immortality was, of course, eventually denied to the Asuras and was distributed among the Devas alone through a fine act of trickery performed by Vishnu, who assumed the form of Mohini, female seductress, to divert the Asuras and make them temporarily forget Amrit. The Devas not only became immortal but also defeated the Asuras summarily. The same Mohini also is said to have given birth to Ayyappan during uniting with Shiva. Ayyappan is a representation of neither men nor women but the third gender. The Devas regained their kingdom and achieved immortality. Once sperms are motile, they can swim past the vaginal terrains. Immortality does not mean life without death, but the continuation of life through generations through continuous chain procreation. Vishnu assuming the form Mohini may represent the X and Y chromosomes. Purana story continues. To save it from the Asuras, the Devas hid the Amrit in 4 places: Prayag, Allahabad, Haridwar, Ujjain, and Nasik. At each of the hiding places, a drop of nectar spilled from the pot. These 4 places are believed to have acquired mystical power since then. The Puranic stories are sometimes a little too vague to interpret in medical terms. The 4 places referred to here are the places of the blood barriers in the human body. They are blood-brain barrier, blood-testis barrier, blood-retinal barrier or blood-ocular barrier and blood-air barrier or alveolar capillary barrier. Blood barrier means a metabolic or cellular structure that restricts the passage of various unwanted substances and objects between bloodstream and the tissues while allowing essential substances that are needed for metabolic functions. This restriction is highly important for better functioning, which cannot be compromised. Do the medical properties of Amrit benefit these four places? One of the four places is Prayag, Allahabad. Prayag is situated at the confluence of the rivers Ganga and Yamuna. Many believe that a third river, Saraswati, also joins here. Prayag comes from Prayag, meaning place of sacrifice, and is believed to be the place where Brahma received his first sacrifice. Brahma is the human cell and is an embryo, the first organ to develop in the skull, head, out of neural cord. The blood barrier in the skull is located at the eyes, which is called blood retinal barrier or blood ocular barrier, otherwise called Prayag. River Yamuna refers to the eye humor, Ganga refers to cerebro-brain fluid, and Saraswati refers to the brain cortex. The second place where the Amrit was hidden is Haridwar. Its ancient name was Gangadwara. It is the place where the river Ganges enters the Indo-Gangetic plain from the glacier. As per the Puranic story, Bhagirath brought Ganga down from heaven. Shiva used his hair to absorb the impact of Ganga hitting the earth. The Himalayas are considered the head of a human body, and the spinal cord runs from the head to the sacral portion of the human body. Ganga is equated to the cerebrospinal fluid in the spinal cord. Dwara means passage or hole. Ganga Dwara is the passage between the brain and spinal cord. The barrier at this place is called blood-brain barrier or blood cerebrospinal fluid barrier, which is the central nervous system. Regarding Haridwar, Hari refers to Krishna in turn, referring to the urinary organs. Thus, Haridwar and Gangadwara are certainly different places. And the third place where the Amrit was hidden is Ujjain. It is situated on the banks of the Kshipra river. Its ancient name was Ujjaini, and according to the Mahabharata, it was the capital of the Avanti kingdom. Today, Ujjain is the home of many Linga shrines dedicated to Shiva. All this information takes Ujjaini to male reproductive organs and is the place where the blood-testis barrier is situated. This barrier is a physical barrier between the blood vessels and the seminiferous tubules. It is formed by tight connections between the Sertoli cells of the seminiferous tubules and nourishes the spermatogenia. The fourth place where the Amrit was hidden is Nasik, situated in the Western Ghats on the banks of the Godavari river. The city enjoys a very pleasant climate because of its situation. Nasi or Nashika means nose. The cutting of Surapanakas, sister of Ravana nose by Lakshmana, brother of Rama, is attached or connected to this ancient city. The nose is used by all humans to breathe. The location of Nasik in the Western Ghats also reminds us of good, pleasant wind. Godavari river reminds us of liquid. Breathing is very important as it enables the carbon dioxide in the blood to be exhaled into the air and the oxygen from the air to be absorbed by the blood. Thus, the alveolar capillaries in the lungs play a bigger role in this regard. It is where the blood-air barrier or alveolar capillary barrier exists. The Puranic story continues. The Devas hid the nectar at different places: Swargaloka, Mrityaloka, and Patalaloka. Devas were on Mrityaloka, earth, for 12 days. 12 days of Devas equals 12 years for humans on Mrityaloka. Thus, Devas were on earth for 12 years with the Amrit. Hence, every 12 years, Kumbh Mela is celebrated at the four places. The story talks about 12 days and 12 years. Each female child will attain puberty around 12 years, average of age, and blossoms into a woman capable of reproduction shortly afterwards. 12 days refers to the periodical ovulation, releasing of the female egg into the fallopian tube, and its possible fertilization every month. Medically, fertilization takes place approximately after 12 days in a menstrual cycle. Svarkaloka is related to Indra, and thus it refers to the human procreative organs. Mrityaloka refers to the blood and its circulation, perhaps the fetal circulation which comes into existence during pregnancy. Patala Loka may refer to the human spinal cord and nervous system. There exists a neurological link between the breast and female sexual and reproductive organs. Medicinal properties of Amrit must benefit these places also. There exists a plant called Kamaduti, Stereospermum sauffolens, also known as Patala or Matanakamapu. Does this also have anything to do with these organs?